It is now 6:01 PM and I would like to call the regular planning commission meeting of Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 to order. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, can I please get a roll call?
Commissioner DeBreeze, Commissioner Maderos,
Here.
Commissioner Pisano,
Here.
and Chair Aranda.
Here. All right, this is a time for general public comment on items that are not on the agenda that are under the city subject matters jurisdiction. The planning commission will not be engaging. If you have anything that requires follow-up, staff will get back to you. Public comments are generally limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The chair may further limit the time for public comment depending on the agenda schedule. If you are attending in person and wish to make a public comment, please fill out a speaker card and state your name for the record. I would now like to open up the floor for public comment. Are there any members of the public in chambers that wish to make a public comment?
No speaker cards received and no hands raised on Zoom, Chair.
Thank you. All right, so we will now move over to consent. There are 3 items on the consent agenda. A, approve the affidavit of the posting agenda. B, approve the special meeting minutes of January 23rd, 2024, and C, to approve the regular meeting minutes of February 6th, 2024. Is there a motion and a second for any of those?
I move to approve all 3, A, B, and C, on the consent form.
I'll second.
With the motion from Commissioner Pisano and a second from Commissioner Maderos, staff, the roll call.
Commissioner Maderos,
Yes.
Commissioner Pisano,
Yes.
Chair Aranda.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving on to our next item, which is our public hearing, to adopt a resolution approving entitlements for a gas station at 404-408, the Alameda, APN 002-520-012. Staff, is there a report?
Yes, there is a report and a brief slide presentation that summarizes the project. I think in the staff report, including the CEQA document and a resolution with conditions attached to that. The report is thorough and I don't see a need to go through that. Is the developer here or online? Is the developer here? Not here. Okay. No. No, I'm sorry. Let me give my report and then we'll have comments. Okay, thank you. So the developer's not here and I actually had a few questions for the developer. One in particular was related to Tesla charging stations. I understand Tesla's no longer in business doing that. So maybe that's the developer coming now. And so I'll just go through these slides real quick with the council and with the planning commission, and we'll see if there are any questions. Let's see, we can show this. Let's show this as a slideshow. Well, I don't need to. Okay. So item 4A is the site plan and design review of the major conditional use permit SDR 2024-01 and amending CUP 24-01 with a sign program SP 2024-01 as well. The site, 404, 408, the Alameda is a vacant lot at the corner of the Alameda and Highway 156, as shown in this overhead photo. Consists of a 3,775 square foot convenience store, which is greatly reduced to the original project that we saw several years ago with 6,000 square feet. A 6-pump gas station, 2 25,000 gallon underground fuel storage tanks, including diesel, a 3,440 square foot canopy, 1,978 square foot lease space, which has not been committed yet, just known as non-restaurant, 39 parking spaces with 8 EV charging stations, 3 bicycle spaces. 8.4% of the land is dedicated to landscaping, and that will be drought tolerant and low water use landscaping, trash enclosure, and alcoholic beverage control license. The proposed architecture is something this commission worked hard on over the holidays and converted this project into a rustic barn-like architecture, much like the windmill. It's compatible with the recommendations provided by the city's historic consultant, Ned Clovis. So here's our site plan, pardon me, with the store space here with its back to the adjacent property, which is Hacienda Leal. And then parking spaces, the fuel canopy, and then the sidewalks and street frontage. The charging stations are here against the back of the 156. And there would be, I believe there's also a proposed walking path right in here that connects the property and through here to the hotel. So this would be an outdoor dining space here. This would be like covered dining, or just a place for picnic lunches, that type of thing. If you're getting a car charge and you brought lunch, maybe you sit here, or you go downtown, better yet. So this is the this is the architectural style that was approved by the commission during December. It includes these wood slats and these and these appurtenances here to give it that old Western look and barn, including additions like this pulley over here and these vents on top. So it does look much like the windmill. This is the back wall facing the 156. Oh, pardon me, this is the back wall facing Leal's, Hacienda Leal. And then moving along to the north elevation, this is the north elevation of the building, and then the south elevations. The floor plan is like this. The convenience store is a typical AM/PM type of convenience store with the lease space not dedicated yet. The city has something known as a formula retail ordinance. So in the event that the tenant is located, we'd have to compare it to the regulations in our formula retail ordinance. But in particular, that ordinance prevents formula retail from coming into the city if the city already has that existing use. And so Starbucks, for example, may not be permitted here, subject to conditional use consideration by the planning commission, because we have Vertigos in town selling coffee. So that's just a fact of our codes as they stand now. Canopy elevations are also barn-like with these rock bases, footings, and then the wooden poles. And that's the way they would look as you come in from the north and south elevations. So with that, we have a review of the landscaping. They're talking about again drought tolerant plants, and here are the species listed on the left. Olive trees, much like the Hacienda Leal, bottle brush, and other plants. Lavandula is similar to lavender, but this one in particular breed is a Goodwin Creek. So those are the plant types. And the Highway 156 right turn lane. In your packet is a whole environmental review done by Hatchmont McDonald from 2016. The mitigation measures in there, the most important ones I've shared with the commissioners as we've met on this topic, include the noise and the sound. And there's specific conditions in there to regulate the noise from the project. The light coming from the project, the city has a dark sky ordinance, which has been talked about a lot lately, especially in relations to the pinnacles. And so they must adhere to the restrictions to overlighting, and the light must be directed straight down and stay on the property. That's the gist of the dark sky lighting ordinance that we have. And then, of course, we have traffic impacts. And so this right-hand turn lane mitigates the traffic impacts from 156 by making it safer for vehicles to slow and make the right-hand turn as they come down the hill from 156 heading to the east. So what we've done is we've worked closely with the property owner on this project, because the 156 right turn lane came back from Caltrans all marked up, requiring bike lanes and other things that we didn't anticipate. So this is going to require moving a light pole, and it's going to require acquiring a small piece of right of way. This has greatly complicated this project, but their engineer continues to work on the design and has gone through twice now with Caltrans to get comments. So we're looking forward to finalizing that design. More importantly, I executed a contract today for an appraisal for the acquisition of the right of way that we need to construct this right-hand turn lane. So that should take between 6 to 12 weeks to appraise the property and make an offer on the property. The owner has not been willing to sell close to 5,000 square feet, a small piece of property. So we're having to go through the eminent domain process, and we'll see how that goes. I've done this numerous times in Salinas. Unfortunately, sometimes it usually works out the best for everyone, and we avoid going to court, and we just come to a compromise on the appraised value. So but this at least gives us the leverage to get it done, because I've had conversations with some of the members of the council, and they're concerned that the right-hand turn lane isn't completed on time, or isn't completed before the gas station's completed. So that is a condition of approval, and I checked the resolutions dating back to 2016, and the condition has always been that the city would not issue an occupancy permit until such a time that that right turn lane is finished. So we're trying to facilitate that, because the city is better at acquiring right of way, meeting Caltrans standards than the developer would be. So to that end, we have a reimbursement agreement with the developer for all of our expenses, appraising and acquiring this property. So that should be known, that the city will have no out-of-pocket expense when it comes to acquiring that right of way. So with that. In the analysis, we have the compliance with the general plan. I'm sorry, I've been working on budget. Everything's general fund to me right now. And the project is consistent with the commercial zoning district. The project is well designed to be compatible with the surrounding land uses, and the project is consistent with ADA accessibility, bicycle parking, and landscape. Zoning compliance, the project is consistent with the zoning district. It provides sufficient landscaping, parking, and architectural compatibility, proposes a use which is permitted within the zoning district. So the CEQA compliance is an addendum pursuant to section 15164, the California Government Code, will be prepared, and a notice of exemption will be filed. There it goes. All right, and to staff's recommendation that the Planning Commission has 4 options: to adopt the resolution approving the SDR 2024-01, CUP 2024-01, and sign plan 2024-01, subject to the conditions of approval, which is staff's recommendation. Second option would be to adopt a resolution approving these 3 permits with conditions of approval modified by the Planning Commission. And to that end, I might suggest that the city consider a development agreement related to this project. It was the first condition in the 2016 conditions, and I think it's appropriate here. That way we have a common understanding of the public improvements, the costs of the public improvements, the ability to leverage with a performance bond to assure that the improvements are done, and also to spell out all of the fees that will be due for this project. They were estimated to be close to $96,000 back in 2016 when the project was first approved. So that agreement gives the city some security that it'll get paid and that things will get built. So that's my only recommendation for amending the conditions of approval, unless the city attorney has some The commission can, of course, deny the proposed project. And the commission can continue the hearing and direct staff to provide additional information or clarification. So after a conversation and hearing public testimony, we can choose from one of these four options. And with that, I'm happy to try and answer questions. Our planners are ill today, unfortunately, those who created these slides. So, but I think it's a pretty straightforward project. We've been looking at it for some time now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so then I will open up to commissioner questions.
I do not have any. No questions at this time.
No questions at this time. I think I'd rather listen to if we have any public comments first.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, well, I will open up to public comments then. Clerk, any comments here in chambers?
My name is Hina Sakand, and I am one of the representatives of Hacienda de Leal, as well as a concerned member of the community. First and foremost, we are very excited for the gas station to be coming right next door to us. I personally reached out to our neighbors as well, extending a warm welcome. And we are excited for the gas station and whatever lease space that's going to be there. We thought it was gonna be a restaurant, but I guess that's no more a restaurant. We do think the gas station can be mutually beneficial to both parties. The project does have potential to attract more tourists into the city with the added amenities. We are a very small town. We recently had a lot of public with the movie, the Leonardo DiCaprio that just came out. So I think that really put us on the map with tourists and being that destination. And we want to continue that. And with that being said, we also have some concerns how this project will be affecting our established tourism traffic already and our day-to-day business. Being one of the only two local hotels, the incoming tourists will be directly affected by this project, especially those that will be also hosting events with us because we're also an event venue. First and foremost is the lighting. I'm glad, Don, that you had talked about that. We were very worried about the lighting issue. We don't want the lighting to be impacting our guests because they will be sleeping. Of course, we don't want bright lights. So we are proposing if the gas station can be open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. the lights can start dimming. We also don't want the lighting to interfere with our ambiance. Hours of operation, same thing, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. We also don't know what type of customers the gas station is going to be having after 10 p.m., especially with San Juan not having a police station, just a security guard every hour. We don't want our guests and our community to be in danger. And then the noise. We do propose a noise decibel limit. We don't know what's going to be next door to us besides a patio. We don't know how much that is going to be affecting us and how late, if people are charging their cars, how late are they going to be at the patio next door and how that is going to be affecting us. And again, our safety. We do bring in a lot of TOT taxes to the city and we would like to continue doing that. But with that, we have to keep our rates high and we don't want it to come to a point where we have to drop our rates significantly because of all the construction that's going on next door. And just, you know, the ambiance of, hey, we're a hotel, but we're next to a gas station now. And the signage, the construction timelines, hopefully we can have an agreeable timeline of the construction start and end time. Our checkout time is 11 a.m. We would hope that construction doesn't start really early in the morning, disturbing our guests. Okay, that is all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments in the chambers?
I'm also from Hacienda de Leal, one of the partner. My name is Mihir Patel.
Welcome.
I have a question regarding the drainage system we're gonna put into the property. Is it gonna be a robust draining system to separate all the oil before it goes to the drainage? And separate out oil and water before it goes to the ocean? Because we had 2 years ago, well, we are not on at that time, but all the waters coming from the mountain was inside office and everything. So if this gas station be a little bit higher than our property, all the water is gonna be coming to the Hacienda property, so we need to look into the drainage system really carefully and signs. Since we're building a gas station, Hacienda is gonna be hiding behind the gas station. Is they gonna be representing Hacienda on their sign, or city gonna give us a permission to put Hacienda sign in our property when it's gonna be a higher sign? So that's what two concern I had regarding this project.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments in the chambers?
Hi, my name is GPC Ken. I'm one of the partners in the Hacienda Del Dia,
Welcome.
and thank you. And I really appreciate the gas station coming next. We want to work with them and have like a good neighbors and everything. My concern was already the landscaping. I see a lot of people coming over to just take the pictures in our property for weddings and for the proms and for the graduation, and even the tourists. It's really beautiful out there in the morning, and especially gets better in the nighttime, and that lights comes on and everything. So we're going to have the same kind of landscaping, so kind of blends in with existing landscaping there, and that was our concern. We don't want to look like some. I think they've already concerned that in his comments that we want to blend in, and that would be a good idea. And the other concern I have, because there's a high school across the street there. A lot of kids, in the lunchtime or the after school, they want to go get some snacks, like if it's a hard day, go get some cold drinks. That's a very long intersection there. It could be, safety issue for the kids going across the street, some kind of, let's hope there's no tragedy out there, because cars do fly out of that intersection very, very fast. That is a concern, really. I don't want my kids to crossing that intersection, at that time, because kids are attracted to a lot of snacks. And in this town, there's nobody else carry those kind of snacks. The gas station will carry, and Slurpees and sodas and other drinks, So let's keep that safety issue in that mind. That's a really long intersection to cross. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments in chambers?
No speaker cards received, and seeing nobody getting up to the podium.
Okay.
Sorry, my apologies. My name is Cody Avila. My father is actually the designer of this project, and I'm here tonight representing him. The owners should be here. Supposed to already be here, but they should be here within the next few minutes for any specific questions that you guys are having, especially regarding the signage and the lighting and the hours of occupation.
Great.
They'll be able to answer that a little bit more directly than me giving you kind of a rough idea. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you. All right, and then any public comments on Zoom?
Seeing no hands raised, Chair.
All right, so well, then I'll open up the public hearing, but do we wait for,
The public hearing's open.
yeah, so
Well, there are a few things that we can entertain. Hopefully he'll be here soon. They'll be here soon. We do have Doug Pike, our city engineer, on the phone, and he did look specifically at the flooding issue. So Doug, if you want to speak to the flooding issue or any other public improvements related to the development.
I could give some general comments. So as we reviewed this, kind of refreshed or renewed application, I zeroed in immediately as the new city engineer on hydrology and hydraulics, looking at the runoff issues. The project is proposing best management practices for runoff, basically what we call LID standards, so that landscaping scrubs any runoff to pick up oil or other items from the first flush and prevent it from going on downstream. And that's the current standard of care. Also, I was worried about, we all saw the flooding from January of 2023. And so I looked closely at the hydraulic and hydrology study, and I'm satisfied that the finished floor elevation of the gas station is at an adequate elevation to prevent flooding. There will be conditions where there's localized flooding in the intersection. That's unavoidable because it's just the nature of many intersections, many places in the city. But there won't be any hazard from spills or flooding of, say, storage, fuel storage tanks or of the building or anything like that. If anything, everything will improve out there based on these improvements, and also the improvements in the right of way, the right-hand turn lane. Drainage improvements will be improving in the intersection as a result of that. Nothing else jumped out as unusual. I love that location, the hotel adjacent. I've stayed there a number of times, and I was excited to see the design elements. Just my own personal take is that it's very complementary, and I think it'll be a good companionship there between the architecturally and landscaping wise, as a matter of fact. But other than that, those are the only things. Don and I have had some back and forth in regards to a development improvement agreement, and we agree that that will be a condition before issuing of the building permit. And it will zero in on some design details that are below the level of detail of the planning commission review. When we get into final construction documents, we can take care of a number of details that may come up and resolve those. But Don, that's about all that was on the top of my mind.
Doug, the extreme flooding we had March 10th, 2023 was also complicated by the construction, the Caltrans construction. They're working on the bridge where the creek goes under the bridge, and when that's all completed, the water should flow a lot better. Is that?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
And then let's see. I'm trying to.
Perhaps, well, it looks like the developer is arriving.
Perfect. Let's give a few minutes. Hello, welcome. No worries. Actually, we have a couple questions for you. So yeah, I might as well just come up to the podium.
How you guys doing?
Good, thanks. So, for me,
Could you just introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Harman Buller.
Thanks.
I'm one of the owner with my partner, Dr. Devendala.
Thank you. So, for me, I just have a couple questions of your hours of operations and what your, I think maybe this question would go to, well, yeah, if you're gonna be working with whoever's gonna be developing this project, what is the construction hours? What is your hours of operations look like?
Hours of operation would be 24 hours.
Okay,
And construction hours could be, I guess, whatever we agree on, I don't, noise pollution and all that, considering that. Early morning to,
okay.
So the construction hours are generally restricted in the building permit.
Got it.
And they are a later start on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays than they are on Monday through Friday.
And what are those hours?
I believe it's as early as 7 a.m. I'm not sure. I don't have a building official here today. But 6 or 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and then not until 9 a.m. on Saturday, Sunday.
Got it. And then also, I know I know that on that property, you're gonna be doing a bunch of the Tesla charging stations.
yes.
What does it look like with the parking that I'm seeing in the plans? What usually tends to happen, or what I've seen with a lot of, Tesla charging stations, you'll get cars waiting to actually use them. So
Yeah.
they'll end up parking in another adjacent parking spot, waiting for something to become available. So with everything going on that property, will there be sufficient parking?
I think we have ample amount of parking,
Come up to the podium, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Dr. Dalla. So what happens with the Tesla? I own 4 travel centers and we have Tesla everywhere. Hi, my name is Dr. Dalla. So what happens in the Tesla charging station is nobody is coming and they're thinking the Tesla charge is going to be free. People are coming through the freeway. Population of San Juan Tesla is not that much that people have a lot of Teslas, I believe, unless we have some kind of study that San Juan Tesla people have a lot of Teslas, which I don't think so. So in the Tesla, it shows how many spots are available. So people only go to the station where the spots are available. And it never tells you that the next stop is gonna be available in 15 minutes. So it defeats the purpose. So no Tesla will come and wait because people already know that there are 13 spots, 2 are available. And nobody knows when they're gonna be out because nobody know how long they're charging. So I don't think so that's gonna be an issue. That's very well managed by Elon Musk.
And is Tesla still in the business?
Tesla is in the business, but to be honest, so far they are, but I have a couple of my friends, they are doing projects in South LA and they have pulled a couple of projects and they have done so. As far as we have a signed contract with them,
You do.
rest God knows if not, so
Okay,
we'll
good.
see how
Thank
it
you.
goes. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm glad you have a signed contract.
We have
Thank you.
14 parking spots plus 12 under the canopy.
Got it.
So that's also considered as parking.
All right, thank you. And then, as for noise, Dawn, I'm assuming I think I ran the report, everything with checked out with the noise.
So the conditions of approval explicitly detail the decibel levels for noise and if I can get right to it here.
Yeah, because I know originally we were looking at it when it originally had a car wash or something like that, right?
Right, that was a bigger concern, but in the condition of approval, it is condition number 9. All commercial industrial uses shall not cause noise levels in excess of the values listed in the table 1 presented on page they're all numbered page 1. Page 3 of 12.
Got it.
So normally accepted noise levels are those which pose no threat to the specified use. Our concern here is the hotel, right?
Yeah.
We're concerned about lighting impacting the hotel guests and noise impacting.
And we should be more concerned than them, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Like
That's what you said.
they're habiting, I don't know, 50, 60 people up there. And how those people are coming, parking where we don't want to share any parking spot, even a single parking spot with any hotel. That's we are very clear. This is our property. We have been developing it almost 2.5 years, going back and forth with the city. Noise levels. I have never seen personally a gas station where people are coming and honking, right? People come and all the people in San Antonio looks very nice, right? Farming community, a lot of people from Bay Area who have moved, they're gonna come get their gas and they're gonna go. So other than noise, I don't know what else is considered a noise, you know.
Well, I think it is adequately addressed in our condition.
In our conditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless guests are coming and, you know, getting beer at night or something and making noise, that we cannot stop.
Got it. And then the lighting, we already talked about the lighting stuff, like I think we even put in the conditions that a lot of the light would be pointing down, right?
There
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, we have it that there, yeah.
Yeah.
the dark sky.
And then, what does it look like whether, I know you guys are gonna have like the white light. I think we tried working on getting something that was more of like a warmer light, but just because you are next to a hotel and you don't want all this light there. What does that look like? Is that something that can be dimmed? Is that something that you guys can work out, or is it always just gonna be full on bright?
It needs to be full out. Basically, the light we're gonna need in the winters from 6 p.m. to early morning. Summers, we don't need any light in the morning. So it's a couple of hours. Most of the guests go to bed at 7:30, 8:30, I believe. And most of the hotels, I'm developing a hotel in Elgrove. Staybridge Suites, 107 rooms, and city of Elk Grove is very progressive city, and they have made sure we have drapes and we have noise, everything, and with their code. So I assume where I'm developing, we have a gas station in front, Chevron, and then there's a Taco Bell, there's a Starbucks, there's a drive-through. So we never, anticipated that this is gonna happen. Biggest noise that's gonna come is gonna be from the freeway, not from this project. So I think if, if their PIP is due or something, they should look into that, and they should, upgrade their hotel to maintain that. But otherwise, we don't dim it. We never put any lights in the morning for any gas stations. If you go any gas station, it's almost 7 PM. If we dim it, we are spending $7-8 million on this project, and we are already backlogged 2 years onto this thing, and we are paying almost $1 million. Don knows about funding the city for making the right turn lane happening, and city will pay us back in 20 years. So if we dim everything, we might just not, do it. Because
The lightings are mostly towards the gas station, it'll be away from the hotel.
away from the hotel, it's just on the
Yes, Would
canopy.
be pointing down towards the property.
Okay.
Not towards the hotel.
Hotel. And also, if you see the canopy, the light goes down.
Yeah.
So somebody coming in, and we want to San Juan Trista to be safe. People who always make problems are, they go to the gas station. We need security cameras. We need to see people. If we dim everything down, how we can protect the community? Because if somebody comes, grab a gas, go, at least we have CCTVs and everything. So I think
Well-lit gas station versus dim gas station.
nobody gonna come.
People will look for dim gas station for trouble.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you. And then, what's the other thing I was looking at? Sorry. There was one more freaking thing I was looking at. Signage. I know there's some concerns there where, the hotel, the property behind you, might be a little bit hidden with the gas station. Is there anything that can be done to promote them?
Absolutely not. We own this property. We don't want any shared signage on that. We worked really, really hard. I'm still in my scrubs, working on my patient since morning, driving from Elk Grove for 2.5 hours. So we will not share even an inch of the signage. The reason being is hotel business, right? City of Elk Grove gave me 10 feet of signage or 15 feet, something like that, on the top of the 4th floor. That's it. We have no small signage, maybe this much, just say Staybridge Suites, right? So most of the hotel people, they book from the app. And if they are concerned about signage, they can do anything on the top. We don't problem. Why would we give away our corner for a signage to help somebody else's business? Yes, they can pay us rent, and we can share the agreement.
Plus, we're getting only a small.
Monument sign.
Not a pylon sign or anything that, there's a space to share. It's a small monument sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like telling a neighbor, like, hey, can you use my driveway, and we can remove the wall in between, and you can come on your side of the house, and you can come on my side of the house.
Right, just, looking at some concerns here. I think that's all I have. And commissioners, any other concerns, comments? Well, anyone else?
Thinking about it, I'm thinking now that they're here and we do have, people from the inn as well. If we could allow them to, ask any more questions that they might have at this time, since we're all together here. I'd like to hear if there is any more comments or questions from the people that live, station next door to the gas station.
Sure, yeah.
Hello. So again, we had addressed the timing of the gas station. We are very concerned with it being 24/7. Like I had mentioned before, San Juan does not have a police station. We don't know what type of people are gonna be coming in at late hours with no, again, police security. So that poses a very big threat to us. San Juan is a very small town. We never had any problems. People are gonna be, I don't know, coming from Southern California, make a quick stop, go back to wherever they were at. And yeah, so that really poses a big risk to us for the 24-hour hours.
Got it. Anything else?
The way they say they don't wanna share each of their sign with us, so if city allows us to put high-rise sign behind the gas station, that way we can represent our business. They're spending 7 million, they did not spend yet, we already spent 7 million to purchase the hotel. So
Mhm.
we don't wanna be losing our money too.
Got it.
So that's our. If city agrees to put high-rise sign, it's fine, be okay. With the project, there's no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to add on one more thing. Again, with our TOT taxes, with the gas station being 24/7 and with the construction time starting really early in the morning, that's greatly going to affect our guest experience. And in return, we're not going to have any other choice but to lower our rates, and that's going to affect our business as well as the taxes that we pay.
Thank you.
Should I answer that?
Yeah, if you have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very easy concerns, it's a business next door, right? It's a planning, yes, cities look into it. To answer the first question, security wise, right? We don't have a police station. But if somebody from San Juan Bautista needs a gas at night, what option do they have? So they're gonna go to Gilroy to get the gas. If somebody has to be transported, somebody's family has an emergency, what kind of threat are we looking at from the guest experience, right, for the hotel? Like, we are building this for almost 1 year, change the whole plan, what the city wanted, how the city want to have this destination experience, and we close that. Somebody wants to go at night, 11 p.m., wants to have a diesel, have an emergency, what they're gonna say? That hotel guests gonna have a bad experience, that they have a threat? Like, gas station business has to be 24/7. That's called convenience, right? So that's one thing. So how can we say that it is a safer place? And how can I say maybe the hotel next to it is not a safer place? What kind of people are coming there? People are coming from South LA. People are going from the freeway. They are staying there, right? So it's very easy to say and object the things, but practicality of those makes a big difference. Now, next to it is, as gentleman said, like he has spent already $7 million onto the hotel. Yes, which is fine. Their business is running. Ours is not even running. So how can we, on our parcel, we don't allow any signage for any business until we have a rental agreement in place. And the city should look into who is paying for the right turn lane. She said TOT tax is gonna go high or low. They can share the right turn lane, spend $500,000. They can have an access. They can have a signage. By all means, take it, right? If you ask any practical person, right, this project has been approved as a gas station from day one. All we did was, due to the last city manager's recommendation, to change the design, and we didn't knew that we were gonna be in the planning again, and Don knows all of it. So from this point, this is not like an approval or disapproval. The project is already approved, right? So some people might think like this is the approval meeting, that this is, but this project is already approved. If we go back to our previous design, it's an approved project. What are we even, thinking about? The meeting should be how we can make it better, how we can make it better for the city of San Juan Bautista, right? So I think we are adding a huge value to the San Juan Bautista residents. We don't have a diesel, right? We have Valero. You can look at the gas station, how it looks, and you can look at it, how it looks, how it's gonna look like. So we did everything what we could have done for the city. I think you can only pull the string that much. After that, it breaks. I want to end my comments on that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
I was hoping the city attorney could discuss the possibility of having a development agreement. That was the first condition in the 2016 resolution. John, what do you think of that idea? And I would like to get the developers' feedback on that idea.
Yeah, you've proposed, sent that out today, and I reviewed what has been done in the past and would recommend that the city have that as a condition, the development agreement improvement agreement.
So we'd work with the city engineer and we'd itemize the sidewalks and the curbs and gutters and so forth. And then put a value to them and just get some assurance that that's gonna be built for the standards and so forth, correct?
That's correct.
And another valuable part about the development agreement is it outlines all of the fees that'll be paid. And as we said before the applicant arrived, they were estimated to be close to $100,000 back in 2016. So they won't be that high now because the building is smaller and it's a percentage of the square foot. But I think we can do that quickly and efficiently, and it shouldn't get in the way of issuing the building permit, right?
Quick thing on the the city and one more thing, sorry, the city owes us money for their fair share for the right hand lane. Can we roll that development agreement fees into that, Don?
We can take a look at that.
Yeah.
This attorney is not real familiar with that.
That's fine, but that we can look at.
Okay. And in terms of the hotel and signage, I'm happy to consider that within the parameters of the sign code. I'm not familiar with it. I don't have it in front of me either, so. It seems fair, but our sign code's not always fair, so. I have a hard time tonight making a commitment as far as what the hotel could do with its signage.
Yeah, we would need to look at that signage ordinance and see if there's something that would allow for that.
And if there's a variance that seems legitimate, if there's an attractive way to put it on the building, if that's even allowed, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm happy to explore that, but I can't make any assurance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we would have to look into it. Okay, well, again, last time, commissioners, any comments before we make a ruling?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, yeah, we're talking about going in different directions, and I think in the end, we're all gonna be going on the same direction. But the one thing that I want our staff to know and the commission to know, and the city of San Juan Bautista, we are San Juan Bautista. And we like to think that we're really different than a lot of other cities. And we're different in being successful as a city and being a business, as far as being a successful business as well. So we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that all parties that are involved with this project is that we're going to be stuck with it eventually. And whatever we're stuck with, we're hoping that it's going to be a successful transformation for the city. And so far, as I'm concerned, it's beginning to look real good. And I'm really appreciate the fact that other businesses have come forward to speak with us. And it's good to see you here. I wish there were more businesses as well. So it's good to see getting together and getting this done. And so some of the concerns that came up, I think there have been all of our concerns on both sides as far as the city is concerned. But again, one thing I want to remind everybody, the uniqueness of San Juan Bautista is a business success. And we are looking for the people to make that happen. And I think we have. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just real quick, I just wanted to thank both parties, both businesses for the work, the time and the collaboration that you have provided and allowed the city to work with you. And I think that, once we hammer out the concerns on both sides, I think they're being addressed. We can move forward, but I just want to say thank you for coming, for presenting, taking the time. Like you said, 2 years from your part. And I know that Hacienda Leal has also done the same, to make your business a success. So thank you very much.
And then as for me, I'm going to echo the same thing. Thank you both parties for actually being here and just kind of letting us know how you guys are feeling. Everything you guys have said is valid, so I'm trying to do my best here to make sure we can meet in the middle. But I'm really happy to see both parties here, and I think this project's looking really good. One question for you, Don. We are approving the site design and the conditional use permit, should something else come up? Can we still add another condition? Should something come up as we go, or is this final?
I was hoping John could speak to that, because I was under the impression this was final, that it couldn't be amended after this without the discretion of the planning commission or an appeal to the city council.
Got it.
Yeah, once things are approved, you don't add conditions later.
Got it.
That's called bad faith.
Okay, Don, I have a question. Can you expound on the development agreement that you were, that you had mentioned? Would that be that you wanted to see a development agreement?
Right, the first condition in the 2016 resolution referred to a development agreement, whereas the city and developer come to an agreement on the fees and the fees that will be paid, and on the public improvements that the city is asking the developer to build. And that can be in excess of several $100,000, the curb, gutter, and sidewalk, and other things that become the city's property. So at times we've required performance bonds to make sure that those developments are approved to the city engineer satisfaction.
Okay, but that's already in there.
No, I'm suggesting we add that back in. It was in 2016.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Then that's all I have. Then at this point, I'm going to recommend to see if we have a motion.
So of the options that were given here from the slide presentation, I move to adopt a resolution approving the SDR, the CUP, and SP2 for 2024 with conditions of approval modified by the planning commission to give way to the development agreement.
I guess I'll second it.
All right, and with a motion from Commissioner Pisano and a second from Commissioner Maderos, clerk, can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Maderos,
Yes.
Commissioner Pisano,
Yes.
Chair Aranda.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, I'm going to be moving on to comments. Planning commissioners, any comments?
Comments in future agenda items.
Yeah, future agenda items.
Comments on future agenda?
Yes,
Or if
if,
you have.
if not, I have one.
Okay, was brought to my attention that we probably should be looking at the signage. So future agenda, if we could add on signage review for the town.
The sign code, correct.
Sign code. And second, if I can add, and again, this is, we need to get some more clarification. It was brought up to my attention to look at a golf cart ordinance of some sort by one of our councilmen. So I would like to see what that looks like and whether that needs to be on our agenda.
One last item, well, from me, is for future agenda to address the code enforcement of homes. The what do I call it?
They're nuisance properties. And,
Nuisance properties.
and for our conversation earlier today, we are looking at that specific portion today.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and also that we have a ad hoc committee to determine whether we want to split the planning commission and make it a separate group with the Historical Resources Board. That committee, ad hoc committee, did meet once, and we're ready to come back with a report, I believe.
Okay, so we'll add that
Yeah.
to the agenda. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't have any other comments from the commissioners. Staff, any comments from you guys?
No, appreciate that. We do have, we do have recommendations going to the council on the 21st to fill the vacancies. We should be a 5-member body. And we have 2 applications, right? City clerk? Nice. So the council will be taking that up on the 21st before your next meeting.
Okay, perfect. And then one last comment, I just want to say, the rib cook-off went really well for all those involved. Great job. Was happy to see a lot of people out in town, so it was really, really nice. Oh, and we are doing May Movie Madness, for those who haven't heard. So every Friday in May, we will be hosting, the Parks and Recs will be hosting a movie night every Friday. And there'll be free concessions for those who want to attend at
Rudy Park.
Rudy Park. I attended last Fridays,
Yeah.
and it was actually a really, really nice little event. So good stuff. Great job to our Parks and Recs team for doing that, as well as we are doing Monday Night Lights at the baseball.
Right.
Yeah, Abbey Park. And that's also a really nice event. So kudos to our staff and Parks and Recs department for putting that on.
And just one more, we have the workshop on the zoning code May 18th at 11.
Correct. So next Saturday, for those here in Chambers and those online, there will be a special planning commission meeting held at the library to discuss food trucks, a food trucks ordinance and what that looks like. I encourage members of the public to come out and give us your input so we can make an official ruling on that ordinance.
And that'll be a Zoom hybrid meeting.
Thank you. And that's all I have for comments. Anyone else? All right, great. Well, with that being said, the next regular planning commission meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. It is now 6:57 p.m. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.